Being honest and authentic with you is really, really important to me, you know that. But today I really want to open up and also kind of tell you about all the struggles that I have with that. I think the first step is always being honest with myself, but it's so much harder than I thought to also be honest with you. A part of that is that here on YouTube, you always just see a part of my life. You see something that I chose to show you. Let's take this video as an example. It just started for you, but what you did not see is this. And yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter if I don't show you how I set up my camera to shoot a video, but I think it already starts with making my bed. My bed is kind of made in my videos, but it's never that case in my day-to-day life when I'm not filming. And then there are other things like that. I can show you the stuff that I'm happy with in my life, but I won't show you the stuff I feel guilty about. And the worst part about that is that there are some things that I feel guilty about, that I'm not happy with when it comes to my life, that I would love for you to have. One good example is the amount I sleep. It's just, I think, a good 8 hours a night, but it's such a luxury and I know not many people can do it. And I constantly feel bad for it. I feel so bad. And I'm so afraid that you think I'm lazy if I tell you that. And that tells me a lot about myself. But not telling this to a friend, but telling it to you, sharing it on the internet is of course a whole other story as well. Because during the past few years, I've learned a lot about myself and I kind of know how I judge myself and what the parts are that I feel self-conscious about. The thing with sleeping long, but also maybe other failures. See what I said there? It's obviously not just the problem of like being honest with myself versus being honest with you, but also a huge difference between knowing that having enough sleep is something everyone deserves, but still feeling that I don't, if I call it a failure. But I can never know how you will judge me, because if you were a close friend, I would know you, but because you are an audience of people I know a little bit about or I know nothing at all about, I have no way of seeing how you will react, what you will judge about me. The thing is, it gives me the opportunity to be even more vulnerable because I can't like prepare the facts and the things I share for your personality. And on the other hand, it makes me want to hide even more because I want to be prepared for every single kind of person judging me in every single way. But I don't think that's helpful for any of us. I think the best thing would be if I just would not give a crap about what any of you think. But it's hard. And I think it's also normal that it's hard and most people feel that way. But let me share another thing that I've really not been happy with. Something that I feel like was a mistake, but let me just share it. Yeah, so we do need to talk about my yarn again. Let me show you. I have this here, and all of this was in this drawer before, or I have like clothes and other stuff. Like these are my personal belongings here, but this is yarn, and as you can see, I can't really open it up. And this is yarn, and this is yarn, and this is yarn, and here's some more. About a year ago, I said that it really bothered me. And like 9 months ago, I said I really wanted to find a solution. And then in my summer plans video, I also said I really need to find a solution. And now I'm just at a point where I have to see that it's not working out this way. And I made a decision to declutter my yarn. And it's kind of really not what I want to do, because I'm gonna lose money and it's not the most sustainable option, because there's no way I know that all of this yarn is gonna be used. But it's stressing me out. It's like over half of my possessions, and there's no way I'm gonna need something out of this in the next few years. So let's go. So the things I'm decluttering are things I bought more so recently. Of course, it's been like 2 years ago, but I think it's so frustrating because I can't just say like, yeah, I bought those before I thought about intentional consumption, before I thought about minimalism or anything like that. No, I bought those thinking I made the right decision. Still, we're at a point where I just can't see myself making something out of any of these yarns, mainly because they are scratchy, they're not wool but actually plastic, and even though it's unfortunate that I can't use them now, and I wish it was different, I still think this is the best decision, because at some point I just have to focus on the future and find a solution for the future, and not just be sad that my past decisions did not work out. But it's still hard. The problem I'm realizing now is that I also have a lot more good wool than I thought. My ideal goal would be that I just have one drawer of wool. But it looks like I might not even be able to fit everything into these 2 drawers. And admitting mistakes is definitely hard, but I think it's always a good idea, because in the end I can just gain some experience, I can gain some knowledge, and at least it might prevent me from doing the same mistake again in the future. But obviously there's still going to be some mistakes I make, and I think that's just part of life. And I think it just makes sense to take the courage and admit it to myself first, but then also to people around me. Now in this basket we could put the stuff again. That's just the current knitting project, because that is what belongs in here. So it does fit, but comfortably is something else, and also it's definitely 2 full drawers instead of 1. The bad thing is that after the current knitting project, I don't even have anything planned. There's like one project that I kind of want to make. And if you're a patron of like the cozy community tier, then I will knit you something once a year. So that's a possibility, but it just feels like yarn is represented absolutely like over proportionally in my life. Yeah, sometimes there's just no real solution. Also, this is everything I want to declutter. Like, this is absolutely full, and then all of this as well. I haven't been in this forest for a while, and I'm glad I'm here. But we're already on the topic of confessing stuff. Did I just buy a new bike instead of fixing the flat tire on my old one? Yes, I did. And in this video, I'm not even gonna give any excuses or try to explain myself, because that's not the point. What I want to talk about more is being open and honest, because I think that is important. A show I recently watched, there was like one person saying, I don't talk about like personal stuff with people I don't know. And then the other person replied, well, what do you think how you get to know people well while talking about personal stuff? And I agree. Like, I think if we want to have like genuine connections with people, we need to be open and honest and authentic, and talk about the stuff that we like, and talk about the stuff that we don't like, and talk about the stuff that works out and talk about the stuff that does not work out. Talk about insecurities and the things we're not proud of. I mean, that is what makes us human, and that is why I love to have connections with people. And for me, that is also very much true for watching YouTube videos. Like, what I love about watching other creators is them being authentic and vulnerable and sharing their thoughts and feelings. And so naturally, that is also what I want to do. But it's also always this balance act between wins. But I think especially as a creator, it's also this balancing act between being vulnerable, which is great for the audience and for myself to create authentically, and also realizing that this relationship is just one way. And that's a huge difference from like personal offline relationships where we both are vulnerable, where we both get to know each other. I think what I want to say is that I want to have more courage to open up, deepen connections. I mean, that's one of the things that I really want to do this year. But I also want to encourage you to talk about the difficult stuff, especially with people you feel safe around, and see if there could be maybe more people around you that can become these kinds of people. And to a certain extent, I also want to say that we shouldn't seek these things online. While I also think that for a good time online and valuable content online, it's also very important to be authentic. And I think my biggest challenge offline and online is to not judge myself so much harder than I judge people around me. And being aware that I'm online and public, still trying to give myself grace and be honest. And now it's loud. Wind and church bells. So I think it's time to end this video. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I will link you a video here that you can check out. And thank you so much to all of you who are supporting me with super thanks on Patreon or just by watching the video until the end. Thank you so much, and I hope I'll see you there or in my next video. Goodbye!